Alright, this video is selfishly serving as a camera and mic test for myself, but I figure might as well make the best of it and go ahead and load up Jaws on the NES Classic. Alright, Jaws. So, this is an interesting game. I was pretty excited when I saw there was a Jaws game coming out for Nintendo, and then when I got it, well, it's not quite what I was expecting. All things considered, this is very much almost an arcade style type game. You're basically controlling a diver and collecting conch shells and using those to power up your attack, and that is really the basis of the game. Jaws has a power meter that you wear down. Obviously that goes down a lot easier the higher your power level is, and you just sail your boat back and forth between two ports using your conch shells to raise your power level, and that's pretty much the game. I think I expected it to be more of an adventure type game. I don't know. This is just, the enemies are very limited in that you've got rays, jellyfish, and then smaller sharks, and of course Jaws. Yeah, it's just not a lot of variety from an enemy standpoint or from a gameplay standpoint. There's a bonus scene that I'll go ahead and say that I'm terrible at. We'll see that at some point. It's an interesting tie-in. The bonus scene with the airplane, it always reminded me of Jaws: The Revenge, Michael Caine's character and his plane in that movie. So here we go. Right out of the gate. Perfect. So, not real good. It's at like 20 out of 30. I'm sure you can find people that dominate that. I think the other interesting thing about this game is it's very hit or miss when you fire it up. I've turned it on and have been able to get through start to finish in about 12 minutes, and then I've had other times when I've really struggled and I can't even make it from port to port to power up my attack without running into shit. I do remember this being heavily delayed, thinking it was coming out. So there, instead of getting power level 2, the first thing you get when you hit the first port is the tracker, and you can see that at the bottom. Beeps the closer you are to Jaws. Hopefully I can make it here to the first port. There we go. See that power level at the bottom. Go up to 2, down to 10 shells. There's Jaws. I'll try to get away from him. Don't feel like contending with that yet. There we go, power level 3. That's not a bad start. The one thing you don't want to get caught with is Jaws in the shallow water. It's just not... I don't have enough shells, I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, having Jaws in the shallow water doesn't give you a lot of room to maneuver the diver around, and then bad things happen. It might just be me, but given that this is a Jaws game based on the movie, and hopefully we won't get this. Oh shit! Hopefully we won't get to see this, but yeah, when you die at the hands or fins of Jaws, I expected a little bit more gruesome death with the diver. I wanted to see Jaws kind of eat you, or a little bit of blood, right? I know that really wasn't Nintendo's thing back in the day, but the game just seems like it could have done more. Alright, so level 5 power, so that's a pretty decent, it's decent enough to take him on. I'll see if I can go ahead and what damage I can do. You'll notice now that some of the jellies are starting to gravitate towards me, so they're no longer just top and bottom. They're kind of homing in on me, which makes things a little bit more complex. So as soon as we wear Jaws' energy down, it'll take us to another part of the game where essentially you're setting off the strobe and then trying to spear him to the belly. So we'll hopefully get to see that here real soon. Oh boy, that was close. There we go. Hopefully I remember which button does what. There it is. First try. There's Michael Caine sailing off in his plane. And that's it. Done. Game's over. It's an interesting game, not quite what I expected when I got it. Super excited, obviously. I remember the game being delayed a lot, and firing this up, I couldn't have been more excited. Huge fan of the movie. Yeah, just not quite what I was expecting. Over time, I've kind of learned to appreciate it for what it is. A quick play. You can fire it up and beat it in a matter of a few minutes, but other times the game can be more aggravating, especially if you are the victim of that one-hit wonder in the shallow water. But overall, not a terrible game, and something that reminds me of one of my favorite movies. Thanks for watching, guys.